Why would you want a way to locate your friends and family on our ships?
Hi, Hannah. Look what time it is. It's time for me to be right here with you.
That's why. Keep track of your crew anywhere on the ship. The Princess Medallion Class Experience. Only on Princess. Exclusively for everyone.
Greetings, valued travel partners. Welcome to this week's Connect with Princess. And I thought we'd start it. You know, I love to do our regular spots. Hi, Tammy from Panama City Beach. We always love to start with the incredible, I got to sing like Love, Exciting and New, which was the newest. Hello from Houston, warm. Are you kidding? I'm in South Florida, the Fort Lauderdale studios, straight from Fort Lauderdale. It's about 113 degrees with that heat index. Incredible. Hello, V Hart from Virginia. I'm like, is anybody under 90 degrees in this country? It is brutal. Maybe from Mississauga, Arlene, maybe, tell me Ontario has less heat than we do here because it is absolutely brutal. So anyway, we thought we'd start today. I love that spot. I think humor and advertising is incredible. And I was saying to the team before we started, I wish I had had the medallion class experience when I know it is hilarious, Stacy. The first time I saw it, it's like, I'd be that mother. I would be the mother that would sit between Sophia and whoever that little boy is, okay, in the whirlpool jacuzzi. Hey, I'm at the days when we used to do walkie-talkies to get a hold of my kids. So this medallion class experience is phenomenal. So you'll see we're evolving the TV spots and commercials, and you'll see a lot more of that kind of comedy. But before we start, I'd be remiss if I don't, somberly just say, because this is, as you all know, we do this live every 2 weeks. And having seen the devastating fires in Maui, my heart, our prayers go out to all of our travel partners, all of Hawaii. I can't even begin to tell you how devastating this is on so many levels. So this morning, it was rough for me. It was very, very rough. And as you know, our ships travel there. So if our guest, we had already sent out an emergency notification, please folks know that this is fluid and we will do whatever it is that the government wants us to do. So if we have to shift and we have to miss port, whatever it takes. At the end of the day, I hope you join me in keeping all of our family in Hawaii in our thoughts and prayers, right? I think the devastation is beyond belief. I just can't even imagine. So today's is a really important Connect with Princess. So I want to go through just the usual housekeeping that we always do because I think it's really great. You all know we're doing live transcript on Facebook. And by the way, I thought last 2 weeks ago, oh, by the way, Marsha's on vacation. So before you start asking me, a well-deserved vacation with her family. And what I said is, Marsha, I do not want to see an email from you. I don't want to see a text from you. I want you to live in the moment. As I tell the team kiddingly, we sell boat rides, okay? This is not rocket science. We're not curing any disease. We don't have PhDs in, not doing stress. Live in the moment. Health is wealth. And hopefully she's had a phenomenal vacation, but she'll be back with us August 24th. As usual. So the last webinar was probably the highest number we had since the coma period, right? Post-coma. So I was excited to see, but today's webinar has tremendous amounts of signups. So hopefully all of you are on, and we always record it. So of course, we know your time especially is very, very, very valuable. So if you do not get to the end of the webinar, because we definitely want to talk about, polar and self-servicing bookings, and we'll say why. So we have a special guest with us. We'll get to her soon. But again, you can always find the recording on onesourcecruises.com, which is critical, right? I always say it's always technical. The team makes fun of me. As a matter of fact, if it's going to go wrong, it will. It's like Murphy's Law. I got to tell you, I've been in this studio and have had the screen absolutely go dark on me. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen to me. But what we are talking about technically, when you go to One Source Cruises, you will see this, you can't miss it. It's a warning sign at the top. So right now, our system that you would normally use to obviously order brochures, flyers, postcards, we're at a pause right now because we're shifting, right? We're transitioning to a new vendor. And in that transition period, you kind of have to go dark while everything is shifted and redone. But by Tuesday, we should be up and running, back online. And we can assure you This new system will be better, faster, easier, and really the experience is going to be worth the wait. So thank you for your patience, because as always, we know that when you need these materials, that you need stuff, you need it now, you needed it yesterday. Just give us a pause and let us get the new system up and running. And by Tuesday, we should be ready to go with all your marketing needs. And then I'll just do usual kind of reminders of what we've got going. So we've got a couple Love Fests coming up. Shipboard, we've got September 18th, super cool. And then we've got September 6th in Jersey. So looking forward to seeing all our travel partners there as Love Fest comes kind of like to a winding down for 23. We will soon be talking about 2024 and some of these. Now this I want to excitingly talk about. So I've been mentioning it and people have asked me, well, what are love letters? And I just thought it was creative. So when we had our webinar several weeks ago that we introduced, Princess Perfect Weddings, the thought was, we are the brand that's synonymous with love, right? When you think love, think of the Love Boat, you think of Princess, that's super exciting. So we thought once we go back to business, by the way, I know the summer is winding down for many of you. And as a result, kids are back to school. I always like to say after Labor Day, we are back to business, even though this summer I was expecting a slow summer. It has not let up. Hence why we have, Save Time with Polar Online as the theme today to help you all out. Scan our love letter promotion. We're super exciting. We're going to launch it in September. We will read these love letters live and we'll pick the best love story. And by the way, you can be creative. It could be one of your own. What do you love about Princess or your clients? Maybe they fell in love on Princess, or maybe they have an incredible story and they want to share. Again, this is all when we introduced Princess Perfect Weddings. And of course, it's not just perfect weddings, it's perfect engagements, perfect renewal of the vows, and perfect weddings. So, I think it was an array of services. So we really wanted to focus on love. It just warms my heart. I think you could hear me say it forever and ever, but sharing the love is even better. I like to say sharing is caring, which is critical. And when you share those stories, I think it'll be great because it really comes from you, third-party endorsements, or from your clients, experiences that are genuine and that they have lived. So I think it just adds that much more credibility and genuine feel to when we say we really are the Love Boat, right? So today's topic, and before we get started, save time using Polar Online and really how to self-service your bookings, right? It's a recap of cruise bundle enhancements will be later. I wanted to really tackle this in advance. And before we introduce our special guest, I just want you to know that we, as I mentioned before, we were expecting a pretty slow summer. And that has not been the case, which, by the way, thank you. Thank you to all of you for entrusting us with your clients that become our guests, because we have had a very busy summer with a lot of bookings, unusual high volumes of calls, which is fantastic. So we're very excited. That is all positivity. But as always, there's challenges, workforce challenges, hiring people, it's the usual story I think everybody is experiencing, especially when you come back to service and we're in full throttle. So we're going to have Jen Wright. And I think you might remember her, our VP of Contact Center. Welcome, Jen.
Hello, hello.
Great to see you. So the last time we saw you, we really didn't see you live. We saw you recorded when we kicked off the new year, right? So when we kicked off 2023, you pre-recorded a really wonderful message to our partners, because you knew Wave wasn't going to be a wave. Wave was going to be an amazing ongoing influx of business that has been very well received, and we're very excited about it. But at the end of the day, it has created, at this point, this continuous wave, a lot of challenges where it comes not in the sales portion of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I always do this fresh. I haven't seen what you're going to present. That allows me to ask you questions that I get from our travel partners, as you know, Jen. And it's really more on the support side that we're seeing these call hold times that are a real angst, right? And a frustration.
Yeah.
I'll let
Not
you
what we
start
want
with
to deliver.
that.
Absolutely. So we do everything we can to protect and prioritize our sales calls. That's the most important to all of us here mutually. And then we just the volume of support calls that are coming in is it is, as you mentioned, quite a challenge, and it's not the service level that we want to deliver for our partners. So I think about contact center staffing like a cruise ship. It's just difficult to turn quickly, right? If you turn too quickly, the whole thing falls over. So we're working on that. We're working on bringing help to the table. But I also, as I'm listening to calls, and I listen to calls almost every single day. I call it happy hour because it's between 5 to 6 at night,
Woo,
and I pick
that's
all
not
kinds of
my
different
idea of
calls.
a happy hour. I hope you're having a nice, like, adult
I'm not
beverage.
gonna lie, there's probably a glass of wine, in there as well. But, we're really looking at, well, what are the opportunities we can have, or that we can share for people to self-service so you don't have to wait at all. And so that's what I'm gonna be talking about today is
Fantastic.
Polar Online and Princess Answers. So these are 2 tools that are available 24/7 on your schedule. And the things that I'm gonna demo today are the basic, most easy booking changes that I would hate for anyone to wait on hold for.
Okay,
And
so
even if we were answering our calls as quickly as we wanted to, it would probably take you longer to get on the phone, listen to all the messages in the IVR, all of our reminders about Polar Online. You get to an agent, you have to give your phone number, your IATA, your name, have the agent read the booking to you. So we can do
fabulous.
many, many changes here in
Okay,
Polar Online in 30 seconds
so
or
you're
a
going to
minute
show
or
us how
two.
to do this, but before we
So
go
here
live,
we go.
okay, but stand
Oh,
by.
sorry.
Because first, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the amazing leadership because you have been such an amazing team player, and all of our sales leadership talks to you because obviously we're at the front line. I like to say my sales teams are in the front line holding up the floodgates and trying to make sure that we rest assured that we're going to get back to those service levels that we are known for and that quite frankly we must have. But I just wanted to take a second to thank you, but also share with our travel partners, because I was asking other leaders globally, outside of North America, what is the usage of Polar? And I'm hearing 85% plus
Mhm.
international. And yet,
Yep.
what percentage is it in North America? It's less than 50%.
Right. And I would say more on the make a booking side. We
Right?
seem to have a really good grasp of that, but less on the support a booking side. We have, somewhere in the neighborhood of, 5 times the support calls that we do sales calls. So
Okay.
that's really why we're talking about booking maintenance here today.
Fantastic. So, without further ado, because we want to lead you to water and make sure you can drink and make sure you can self service, 3, 2, 1, let's go live. It's all about you.
Thank you so much. And I want to first share that I am not a Polar Online expert. So, why would a not a Polar Online expert come and share this content with you all? Because I believe in it so strongly. If I can do it, and I'm not in here every day, I'm in here once a year when they can't find anyone else, and they're like, "Hey, Jen, can you grab us a screenshot for this thing that we need?" So, I really am sharing with you that if I can do it, if you can get over that little bit of discomfort in the beginning about using a new system and logging in and all of that, it really is, it's going to make your life so much easier. So the first thing that I'm going to go over is Princess Plus, how to tell if we have Princess Plus and Premier on the client's booking. And I'll try and hit on a couple of the questions about the packages themselves as I'm going through this. So I need to share with you that at the bottom of the screen here are all these wonderful buttons. And these are going to get you to the places where you need to go to see the things you want to see and do the things you want to do on the booking. And we have a brand new tool just created this week to help folks remember which button to push to get to the thing you want, because that may be what's holding some folks up with actually making changes. So I happen to know or have been reminded for this session that we're going to click on special requests and gifts in order to tell if our guests have plus or premier. So plus and premier come with all kinds of goodies that we've talked about, and those goodies are going to be listed here as well as on the travel summary in Cruise Personalizer, but this is faster for you to get to. So I can see these clients have no plus or premier package because there's no goodies listed. There's no beverage plus beverage package. There's no Wi-Fi. There's no um, princess desserts and fitness classes. And we know that our new enhancements have added casual dining. a waiver of Ocean Now for Plus and Premier guests, and also waiver of the room service fees. Those last few goodies, they're not in here yet, so you're not going to see them, but you're still going to be able to tell what your client has, and I'll show you after we add it. So we're going to go ahead and add Princess Plus for these clients who have no package. We're going to go to booking information here, lower left-hand part of the screen, and we're going to go to offer code. In the second half of what I'm going to share with you guys today, I'm going to show you how to find offer code. There's a couple of great places you can go. They're all in Princess Plus. But for purposes of this demo, we're going to pretend like it's a baking thing, and I've already looked for that. And I know that the offer code is +2. So I type in offer code +2. I click submit. My record is updated. Up here, I just have a little orange message. And if I go back to that screen that I showed you a moment ago, which is special requests and gifts, there's all my goodies.
There they are.
And I know it's Princess Plus because I have 1 MedallionNet device and 2 classes and 2 desserts versus Premium, which would be unlimited classes and unlimited desserts. It took me a couple seconds, right?
That seems simple.
It gets even better, Carmen.
Tell
So
me, you created a cheat sheet, right? Because you know me, I'm very
did.
visual, but I'm one of those persons that has to have everything in front of me so that I know. Because like you, I don't use this platform, and when my travel advisors are asking me, I want to make sure I'm giving them good information. So this is very, very helpful. And we also took their feedback, Jen. So thank you, because I'm sure you were concerned since Murphy's Law over here, Carmen Roig, everything's technical and things always go poof. And therefore, everybody said, we want to see it live. We don't want screenshots. So this is very helpful because you're actually walking us through it. Go for it.
Yep. So this is recorded. Folks can go back to it. We have a lot of videos where you can go find exactly the thing that you want to see. But here's my cheat sheet. I have a version of this written in front of me. Princess Plus and Premier is right here. Oh, my big cursor is doing weird things. But if you look in section number 2, it says add Princess Plus and Premier and a whole bunch of other things we can do. So where is number 2? It tells me it's this button to click on right here. So this is my cheat sheet.
Okay.
And now I'm back in the live version, and I'm going to show you guys query mode. This is really awesome. It's going to help you from making any mistakes on your booking. I use it myself all the time. So when I click this query mode button down here, because I have a version of this in a different reservation system, everything turns purple. So I know I can make certain changes to this reservation and see what happens. So if I wanted to take, let's see what my price is for my guest who I've added Princess Plus on. Here we are, $1,087 fare. Not going to go through the whole thing, but that's what I'm paying right now. So if I go back to my booking information screen where I added that offer code and I take it off and I submit it, now, I haven't changed anything in the real world. My booking in the real world is still perfectly fine, but I can take that offer code off and see what happened to my booking. And here, when I go to pricing summary, this is what the price difference is, right? It's $420 per person. How come I know that? It's $60 per person per day times 70, and that comes with my price difference here. And so I can share that with my clients, but I'm going to tell them what a great deal it is. Why, this is the price, but we really pays to Plus and Premier. So when I exit my query mode, I come back, no changes. My offer code is still right here. So it's a really, really neat tool that I recommend you use if you're concerned about making a mistake on a booking. So next few things I have to share with you are option extension. You might need an extra day or 2 to get a hold of your client, right? We have this great extend option button right here. You can see my current option is for August 13th. I click extend option. It's given me till August 15th. I can click extend option again. I can click it as many times as I want, right? It gives me August 17th. If I keep clicking it, because it's not going to stop me, it's going to get to a point where it says access not authorized, and it's not going to give me any more time. That's the maximum amount of time I can extend my option to. So again, I would hate for anyone to wait on hold if they just need an extra couple days. Click on that friendly extend option button, and it's also on our Polar Online Basics flyer extend option. It gives you a number, and you know which button to push to get to it.
Oh, okay, how do we get here again? I want to make sure. How do we get here? I want to extend an option. I do not want to sit on hold for an hour. Where do I go? I go into
we get here. Booking information.
Booking information. Okay, I'm there. I click.
And then we extend our option.
Okay, that was easy. Extend our option. Okay. And I keep clicking. It was giving me 2-day increments, right? Until
Correct.
it denies me access, right? And then
Correct.
once it denies access, that means you've gone as far as we can give you that option extension self-service. So don't call in, just go for it, right?
That's right. Exactly
Beautiful.
right.
Okay. See, even I
And
can learn.
and I'll say, Carmen, booking information, that's where most of the stuff lives that we're gonna go over today. There's a few other places we've been, and again, they're outlined in our basics because even I'm as a not everyday Polar Online user, can't remember which button to push. So that's why I love that we have these basic tools.
The
So
query button. What did I go through to get a query button? It's just its own button, right?
its
There
own
it is.
button right down here at the bottom of the page, enter query mode,
And
because
you
we like to
and
call
it
it
goes
something fun.
purple.
Goes
Okay.
purple, my favorite color.
So I cannot make a mistake in a purple mode.
Correct.
That
You
I
can
love this
do
feature. I'd be living in
certain
this feature.
things.
Got it.
Absolutely. Live in the feature, make the changes, see what happens,
Embrace it.
including cancellation of a booking. If you're not sure and you don't want to do the what's the 50% and all of that, you can come here and do it in query mode. Let the system do it for you.
Fantastic.
Can't
Okay.
get it wrong that way.
Beautiful.
All right. We get, interestingly, a number of questions about adding or removing transfers, adding or removing Princess Vacation Protection. And those are easy one-click things to do in Polar Online. So we're going to go to a new page now, and that is for our transfers, travel packages. So for me, transfer travel packages, it's pretty close, easy to remember, but I still have it outlined on my basic booking sheet. And if I made this booking with transfers, because Polar defaults them on, we assume everybody wants them, clients don't want them, I can remove them with just one click each way. So I've got an orange arrow here for my pre-transfers. It tells me, are you sure you want to cancel this package? And I don't want to make a mistake. So yes, okay, I'm sure. Now that's gone. Same thing for my post transfers. I make a click. We say, are you sure you want to cancel? Yep, I'm 100% sure. And now my transfers are gone. I get
So
a
let
call
me
from my
ask you another
Sure.
question. So that means when I'm making a booking, we automatically add the transfers as part of the travel packages, correct?
Correct. And
You
you
actually have
can't
to
there is
go
an
in
option
there.
there's an option to remove the transfers while you're making the booking, but sometimes
Okay,
it gets missed. Somebody might be going quickly.
got it.
They missed that the transfers were on there, or maybe they thought the clients wanted transfers and so they left them on and they
Perfect.
said no afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So such a great question. And package list is where I go to add them back on. So here are all the packages available. And you may be looking at them thinking, how can I tell what's what? Anything that's a transfer is going to say transfer in front of it. And anything that's a hotel includes the transfers is going to have the name of the hotel. And we pre-select everyone in the stateroom to make it easy to add them back on. But if you only need to add transfers for one person, it's as simple as unclicking the person that doesn't need them. So maybe I have a couple. One's coming into Miami, one's coming into Fort Lauderdale. I happen to pick a Caribbean sailing here for our demo today. I can do this where I've got one coming into Miami, one coming into Fort Lauderdale. I click add and
Wow.
submit.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Wow, that's fabulous.
And then just real quick to show you how fast it is to add transfers for both guests at the same time. Here I'm going to add transfers from the ship to Fort Lauderdale. One click over here and submit. Done.
Easy peasy.
That's right.
Okay.
Next up, Princess Vacation Protection, equally as fast and easy. We're going to go to a new screen now. Again, we'll have all of these numbered and make it real easy for you to find. But pricing summary is where we can add a cabin. I happen to book a guarantee here. We can change the home city. We do get calls for that periodically. No problem. I just type over. And I can change the vacation protection. I can upgrade them to platinum. We always want people to travel with protection. I know I don't have to tell that to you guys here, but all the really heartbreaking ones come to me where folks don't have protection. So if they don't purchase it through Princess, we strongly encourage them to purchase it someplace else. So I'll just demo to you that we can we can take it off for one person. We can take it off for both people. You can see the vacation price here is for standard. And when I click save, this is live, folks. We get error codes
Error
sometimes.
codes, of course. That's why I say it's always technical.
It's always technical. So let's get back into our booking. I think I'm giving Polar Online it's a run for its money today.
It's a
Here's my
fabulous
booking number.
Okay. Click, click, click. Life is easy.
And this is how we know it's live, right?
Absolutely. And that was the travel partner feedback. Thank you, Jen. I know this is always tricky because it's always technical, but at the end of the day, that way they can see it, right? Some folks are like, I'm a visual person, but I really want you to go through it and I take notes. And that's why I ask so many questions. So sorry about that.
No, I
But
love it.
love it.
So now I've upgraded guest 1 to platinum. I
Platinum.
took the vacation protection off for guest 2. When you go down and look at vacation protection costs, you can see passenger 1 went up to $80, passenger 2 went down to $0. Done. And I can
Easy peasy.
change that up until final payment.
Okay, phenomenal.
So we get a lot of questions about changing guests on bookings. You know, if families traveling together, cousin can't go, we want to bring sister instead. And that's another really simple change to do in Polar Online. There is no swapping of passengers. It's always a cancel one passenger and add a new one. And we can do that as many times as we like outside final payment, as long as one original guest remains on the booking. And Polar keeps track. It knows who the original guest is on the booking. If you got to change both guests, well, then we got to cancel the booking and make a new one.
The full booking.
So
Okay.
the full booking,
And
that's
so
correct.
we look at this as a cancellation of one guest, not a name change per se.
Correct.
Is
That's
that
correct.
too
That's
elementary of
exactly what
me?
happens.
Okay.
And that it's for a lot of good reasons, but the main one I'm going to tell you is it's going to keep their data and everything about their journey behind the scenes clean and pristine, and there's going to be no challenges there. So world traveler cannot travel with Doctor Who on this cruise, so we are going to cancel that second guest off. I've got my cancel button down here at the bottom. Again, we're on my favorite page, the booking information page. So I cancel. And she's gone. Again, I could do this in query mode, right? And see what happens. And I'm going to add on a new guest just by typing it in here. Let's see. If I don't know her birth date, I can just say she's an adult, and that way my plus package,
Excellent.
all that stuff gets sorted the way that I want. I click
Great.
save.
Great
Done.
question. Lenice wants to know, does the original guest have to be PAX number 1?
They do not. That is an excellent question.
Excellent
So if I
question.
happen to cancel Doctor Who instead, then my world traveler, who was the person I just canceled off, they become the original passenger on the booking.
And I like that feature for age because you might not know the exact age. So you put adult, and that way if you're going to add plus or premier, you can.
Absolutely. Now, let's say you get a call or an email or a carrier pigeon from the guest, and I've got her birthday now. Can you please go ahead and add it in for me? Absolutely. Same page. We'll just go ahead and add it in. All my test people have the same birthday.
I love it.
So I can remember and find them.
Easy.
I save it and we're done. Now, once we enter the birth date, it's encrypted for our guest protection. Guests can see it in the Princess app or in WebOcean Ready, which you also have access to if you log in on behalf of your guest. So if you have the guest to here, her travel companion is logged in and says, "Hey, her birthday's not right. It's listed as the 1st of January. It should be the 2nd." Even though you can't see it, you come in here and update it. 01/02/1972, 1972, and then I save. And I also save myself 5 minutes or an hour or however long it's taking us now to get to our phone calls. I've saved all of that time because I've just gone in here and updated myself. Again, super, super simple changes that we're going over here to try and save everybody time. So booking confirmations, hot topic.
So before you get to confirmations, great question, David. So I want to
Yes.
make sure, because obviously David has my same interest at heart. So I'm a query mode person, I can tell you right now. If you are in query mode and want to make the changes, is there a way to apply it to the booking, or do you have to redo it live in the booking?
I wish that there was a button where we could say accept query mode changes and make it live in the
Okay.
booking, but we're not that technically far along. But I can tell you guys, if we have a lot of usage for that and we have a lot of support from our trade community who are now doing all of this booking maintenance online and say, "Jen, get me this function, make it so that I can say accept query mode changes in the real world," we can prioritize that. And I can't promise anything here, right? But that's the kind of feedback that allows us to get those technical changes prioritized.
Fantastic. Because otherwise, where would David have to go? He'd go back into booking information?
Yes, you
and
go
make
back,
the changes
he'd
there.
exit query mode, and then depending on what change he was making, whether it was PVP or changing the guest, he would
Right.
select the correct page.
Got it. Booking info. Okay, perfect.
Love it.
Awesome. Excellent
So
question. Thank you, David.
two of my favorite, well, they're all my favorite, right? One of the easiest things to do is send a booking confirmation. We are having trouble with our servers right now. I know that there are travel advisors and guests who are not getting their confirmations. It doesn't have anything to do with requesting them through Polar Online or through reservations or through, any other tool that we could be using. It's about our servers, and all the teams are working on it. So let's pretend everything is working to normal. You can click send confirmation here, and I know this box pops up tiny. I'm sorry, let me try and make it bigger. I'm trying to work with this ginormous mouse. Okay, so
Wow.
hopefully we can see this.
Okay.
I can click booking confirmation. It's going to default to agency and passenger copies, but I can pick and choose here what I want to do. So if I want to send it to myself, I'm just going to put my email address in, jen@travel.com. Oh, everybody watch me type. Sorry
With
about that,
purpose.
folks.
I love it.
And so so that everyone knows how to put their email address in, except for me here on demo. So if I wanted to send a passenger copy directly to my client, I could do that right here. I could just say, I don't want it to come to me to forward to Jen. I'm just going to go
Fabulous.
ahead and put her in right there, because that's Jen's email address. So you can also choose special service confirmation, final payment, copies of the booking notifications, right? Lots of options there, and very, very quick and easy. It is this most simple thing to make a payment through Polar Online. The button matches exactly what you want to do. Credit card payment, although you can also use a gift card. Make it bigger for folks here. Just make it whole screen, right? So
Beautiful.
you can pay for a single booking or multiple bookings using the same card. For ease of time, we'll just go single booking. So we pop up a page that defaults to passenger one's information, but you can select anybody on the reservation, so you don't have to type all of their address and all of that, zip code, all that stuff in. Say how much you want to pay. I happen to be practicing a $200 payment earlier. You have to say whether or not it includes vacation protection. Why do we require that? Because coverage for vacation protection starts when it's paid. So that's why we ask to specifically state whether it's included. And then we got payment type. It's a credit or a debit card or a gift card. And then here is where you can save even more time. Sign everybody up for auto charge. If your clients don't want to mess with it at final payment time, just sign them up for auto charge. We'll charge the card that you put in. You don't have to worry about it. They don't have to worry about it. If they
Wow.
want to
Excellent.
cancel prior to final payment, no problem. It'll cancel. They'll get their deposit back. No charge will go through. We also have a monthly payment option for anybody who wants to take the remainder of their balance due, divide it up by the number of months left till final payment, and make automatic monthly payments. You can choose that for them here as well. Easy, easy.
So I don't want to complicate life. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay, because I love that monthly feature, because I'm going with my daughter. We're going with the kids. So in the case of Princess Plus or Premier, do they have to pay that all in full, or can they do monthly as well for that payment?
As long as we're outside final payment,
Right?
it'll be for the total amount of the cruise. So if they have Plus and Premier on there, that would be included.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. That's awesome.
And I happen to see out of the corner of my eye, I'm trying to watch the questions, guys, but I'm not the best demo and question answer at the same time. But Jan has a question about how can I make it, how can it be easier for me to see the different types of promos? I'm going to cover that. So just hang on. It's
Awesome.
coming.
Fabulous. Yes, because I get that a lot, that we have a lot of promotional fare codes.
Yep. I'm leaving it till the end, not to keep everybody hanging, but there's a method to the madness. So a couple other quick things that I want to show you before we get to those promos. You can cancel a booking here through Polar Online. And again, please save yourself the time of a call in. Why do we have, so we're on the booking information page. Why do we have two different things you have to choose from a drop down? Because the mechanics of canceling a booking that has actual space are different from the mechanics of canceling a wait list. So most of the time we're talking about bookings that have actual space. So we choose cancel. We say cancel booking. And it says, please reconfirm your cancel option, right? Because we don't want to make a mistake. Maybe I hit it, fat fingers as I'm going around the screen. So I have to go in and do it a second time. And now my booking is canceled. Here's my
So you,
status, canceled.
so you have to cancel twice just to confirm that you really are canceling.
Correct.
Wow.
Now,
Okay.
let's say my client calls me the next day in a panic. Jen, guess what? My husband or my partner can get the time off to go on this cruise. Can I get that booking back? You sure can. You can reactivate that booking in Polar Online as long as the space and the promotion are still available. Just put in the booking number, and we land on the basic booking information page, or sorry, basic page. And here's booking information right in the middle of the screen. Go to booking information to reactivate the booking. Here's my button to reactivate it. And now I have my booking back. Same booking number, same category, same promo, everything I had on the booking, all the guest information, all there. Now, if I had money on the booking and the money is gone, that's gone. But at least I've got the booking back, and I don't have to do the work to find the sailing, enter the guest information, and all of that. So it is a time saver.
Now, if you're reactivating, this worked out beautifully, but the world isn't beautifully perfect like this all the time, Jen. At least not my
I know.
world. I go through hoops every day. Nothing's going to be easy. If the same rate wasn't available or the category, you can still rebook it with
Yes.
just whatever the
You just have
available
to
options are.
Exactly. You just have to make a new booking. So reactivate booking saves you time if it's within a short, time frame. Maybe it's within the same month that the promotion is going on. So it could be a couple days, could be a week later. Once that promotion expires, it's going to tell you, stop. You got to make a new booking under a current rate.
So Judy has a great question. Her and I think alike, which is a beautiful thing. Will you get the same stateroom if you reactivate the canceled booking? I guess
I'm so glad you asked that because I
Excellent
meant to
question.
cover that. Great question, Judy and Carmen. It always reactivates to a guarantee. So you have to go find a cabin and put it on there because, we don't know if it could be available. So what I would do is to save myself a little time, I go to the pricing summary screen. I type the cabin in if I knew it. If it's available, we'll get it. If it's not available, then we need to go out and look for a cabin. But I've saved myself the time of doing everything else. Everything, all my platinum, all my plus and premier that I've added on here, all of that stays. So I don't have to do as many things to replicate the booking.
Okay, so you reactivate it, goes to guarantee. If you want to find out if that same stateroom's available, you go into there and enter the stateroom number. If not, it'll give you other options, right? They have to go look
Yep.
for them. Okay.
All right. So then we've got how to refare a booking and promotions. So let's go to refare. We're going to go to booking information, rebook or refare. There we go. So we've got 3 options. Change category is actually changing the category within the same promotion. Change fare option is I want to look at all the different fare options. And then change sailing date, you can actually rebook your clients to a new sailing date. All of their information intact. If they have a deposit or money on it, we're outside of final payment. All of that stuff comes along with it. So I'm going to choose that one to show you because it looks very similar to. I can get to the promotions the same way. So here we are. I've got all the same information. I'm actually going to pick the same sailing date. You could pick a different one if you were going to another voyage. And here we are with Enchanted. Come back, Enchanted. Save and continue.
It's always technical. Don't you worry.
Always technical. Okay, let's go back.
Okay.
Let's go back and choose change fare option. Okay, so change fare option. I'm going to go down to search by category list. I like this because I see everything.
Oh, I love
This is
that.
what you're seeing when you're making a booking, right? It's always going to give you our best fare. And here what it's telling us is our best fare is, I'm not going to go for the guaranteed inside that doesn't have plus and has non-refundable deposit. I'm going the next one up. And this is with plus, right? But if your client was looking for this category standard fare, then I'm going to go down here to fare comparisons. And this is where I get the comment, oh my gosh, Jen, that's so much to look at. So here's the tips on the fare comparison page. If there's an advisory, you can ignore it. It's either automatically going to be added to the booking or it doesn't apply to our guest air city. So we can just not look at any of those things. All of our promotions are going to have a name to them. So that's really what we're looking for. And in our case, we have early booking sale. So here's the one that was displaying on that screen. It was this N7P with plus, and it says it right there. And right underneath it is the one that I'm going to select to book standard for my clients. So if I click N7S, save and continue, I get my disclaimer. I get back to the limited view. Jen likes to look at the expanded view, so I want to see everything. And here we go. So I've got, it was, 1088, I think, for plus. Now it's down to 667. So I can select that for my guests if I'm making a new booking and they just want the standard fare. You can do the same thing if you originally booked your guests with plus, but it's so easy to add plus in Premier on with an offer code that's why I started with adding plus in Premier as an offer code.
But you can always do the standard. It tells you the differentiator, like what's
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's what I have for Polar Online. Now I'd like to shift over to Princess Answers to show you how to get answers to your questions. And I saw some questions coming up in the chat about Plus and Premier. So I can kind of cover a few Plus and Premier questions while I'm showing Princess Answers, if that sounds good to everybody.
And Princess
right.
Answers is what our team goes to as well, right?
Absolutely. It's what I use every single day.
Okay.
And, by the time the question gets to me, like it's really hard. And the first thing I do is go to Princess Answers and I say, what's there? What's missing? Why can't we get the answer to people? So real quick before I go to answers, I just wanted to show you booking tools. This is where our cheat sheet lives. We'll make sure we get that out to everybody after the meeting as well. But right next to it is Princess Answers. So just like the cooking shows, I already have it pulled up here because I don't want to have any technical difficulties.
I love it.
So I've covered, it's the same resource that our agents use. Myself, personally, I use our BDMs. Everybody is using this tool to get an answer to a question. Everyone, including yourselves, everybody here, can suggest, make suggestions and request updates. So it's not like Wikipedia where everybody can just go in and change things, but you can go to one of these pages or articles, as we call them, and if something is missing, you can click on a link and say, hey, I really expected to see this thing that's missing here. You may not even really know what that content is, but as long as you can describe what you're trying to see, our crack team, who's actually here listening on the call, will be able to help us get that content in there. And so every suggestion that we get is vetted by subject matter and content experts before we actually make updates. But those are the most powerful updates that we get for Princess Answers. And in fact, is why we have the self-service tools that we have today on OneSource and Princess Answers, because they were suggested by our travel advisor partners. The last thing I'll remind everyone of is it's available 24/7. So again, we have 12,000 folks who log into OneSource every single month. And if that saves one phone call, that is a huge number of phone calls. If I can get everybody here to get a couple more questions answered through Princess Answers, that could be another 5,000, 6,000 calls that we save. The numbers start to grow the more we can get simple questions answered through Princess Answers. And then our team are available more quickly to pick up the phone and help with the complicated ones, the tricky ones,
Right.
the Princess Plus for third and fourth guests. We don't have a self-service option for that. You have to call in. So we need to make those folks available to answer more quickly for you.
Excellent. So whatever we can self-serve on, we should be.
Absolutely.
Allowing, excellent.
My quick tips and suggestions on Princess Answers are: search using simple terms. Please don't type in how to add Princess Plus to my client's booking. Just type in Princess Plus. It's going to suggest what you should look at. And I can click from here, but better would be to use the little, what do you call that guy? A magnifying glass. And then the top articles are going to come up right here. Here's the one on the latest and greatest. So all your questions about the new Princess Plus, what's including, how many casual dinings, how does it work, all right here.
Wow.
And if you want to get to, well, what about my client who purchased before that? Okay, we've got a link right here, including how to add in Polar Online with screenshots and the offer codes that I promised to tell you about. So if I click on that, I get to a page with a lot of information. So I can get back to the place where I came from. I want to know more about Princess Plus enhancements. And then I got hyperlinks to information on the page, so I don't have to read through it all. You don't have to scroll through it all. Check out the hyperlinks and say, oh, I want to add it in Polar Online. That's what I'm going to look at. Oh, that's the place where Jen told me to add it. And those are the codes that she was talking about. And Joe has a really fancy chart for this as well.
He does.
And if you don't know the terms that you're searching for, I don't know the simple terms. I forget what Princess calls the thing that I'm looking for my clients. We've created this new tool called a Princess Glossary. We're not super excited about the name. So if everybody here has a suggestion for what we should call this, drop it in the chat. I'll show you how to put the suggestion in Princess Answers. I would love it if you logged into Princess Answers and shared with us on this article. But basically, this is giving you booking terms, group terms, medallion class terms, what Princess calls stuff, and then it takes you to where you might find more information about that thing. So here I've searched for Princess Plus just using Control F on my computer. We get to beverage packages, but that's different from Princess Plus. So I want to skip down the page a bit.
Yeah.
Here's a little short snippet for Princess Plus. I click on the link. I get to the page with everything I want.
And I'm going to cover Princess Plus and Princess Premier. It's coming, I promise. I knew this was going to be longer because it takes time and we need to go through this. So we were talking beforehand, but be patient. It's coming right after Jen. I'm going to go into a little deeper dive of these new changes and enhancements, right? So if you missed last month's or last 2 weeks webinar, it was last month. It was July. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm coming to the end, guys. 2 more quick tips. Featured article over here. This is the latest and greatest, what we think you will like to see. We even have a travel advisor time-saving tips link that'll take you to some videos. If you don't want to watch this whole long video that we did here, we got lots of videos that are broken out.
Little snippet.
And you in snippets is what we're working on. And then you can also save articles as favorites. So if you're using the group amenities article all the time, when you look at it here in Princess Answers, you have a little star there. You can take it on and put it off. But if you find something that you use all the time, put the star on it, and then it'll always be in the middle of your homepage here so you can find it quickly.
Easy access. I love it. Index.
Easy access. And if you want to share feedback on an article, tell us how we could be doing something different or better. Down at the bottom of every page and article is share your feedback. Pops up a little box. You could say, please name this page. Oh, I hope somebody has a cool name for it.
Yep.
Princess Dictionary. Mind my spelling. Then you click submit. You get a little note that says, thank you, we appreciate your feedback. And then the team behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz, they're back there, they're waiting, they're looking for these things. They're going to look at it and say, okay, we got 20 of these for dictionary and 10 of them for, some other really cool term. And that's how we figure out what we're going to rename the tool. And it may change over time.
Fabulous.
Top 5 words that were searched for last month. I'm always asked for that. Princess Plus, groups, gratuities, transfers, and Wi-Fi. So I've already shown Princess Plus. If I type groups, I get, a couple of different things here, or I can search and have even more articles. Gratuities, we don't call it that anymore, but Princess Answers helps me and reminds me it's crew appreciation. And it puts it right here for me and tells me what it is, a la carte by stateroom type, by meta, I think is what we call that. Mm-hmm. And then Wi-Fi. You don't have to know that it's called MedallionNet. We just type in Wi-Fi and it tells you internet program. And even if you're trying to find old information about it, like for our guests who are still asking about the per minutes program and all of that, we have some information there. And it says basically, please go look at this other article for the most up to date.
It's like one-stop shopping, right? From a resource perspective. That's why it's called Princess Answers. Pose the question, let me answer. It can't be an answer. Can't be an
and if it's not in Princess Answers, it should be. And there are multiple ways that you can share that. In fact, I will share one of the questions that we got session was, can you add MedallionNet a la carte in Polar Online? So as I was prepping, I went in and I looked, and you couldn't add it into Polar Online. So overnight, I was able to ask the team, how come we can't add this in Polar Online? And they said, we don't know. Let's fix that. So they fixed it, and it's now available today in Polar Online. And I'm sorry I don't have the name of the travel advisor that asked the question. I'll go back and look for it, but certainly appreciate you sending that in advance because we were able to turn it around and action it immediately for today.
Wow. Talk about immediate gratification. Pose the question and get a solution. And I love it because at the end of the day, these are the things that we need to do. So stand by, don't leave us, because I know this was like speed dating. there's so much more that we could cover, and hopefully we're going to look at how we do in the future, bring you back to look at other aspects of how we best self-serve our bookings that will in turn not have you call in. But there is help on the way, right? I mean, at the end
Yes.
of the day, we've got a plan for this because I mean, it's a good problem to have. And I don't use the word problem, it's more of an opportunity, but it's a good situation to be in that we're so busy as such. But I think you've got a roadmap to success set up. It's not coming as quickly as I would like or anybody else would like. But you know what? Patience is a virtue. And this was very, very helpful. So let me quickly, and then we'll go to, hopefully, we'll have questions at the end. So let me, if Joe, if I could go through Princess Plus, because we made the last program that we did, we really went into these enhancements. Right now, more than ever, it plays to Plus and it plays to Premier because of the changes we've done. Right, we've added these casual dining meals and no extra charge. And by the way, I'm on social media too, so I see all the comments. Luckily, I don't take them personally. We take this as constructive criticism, and I want to make sure that you know that we are listening. Okay, so we really just changed what our dining program was. What has it evolved to? It really was 2 tiers, complimentary and specialty. Okay, nominal charges, prices vary per venue. That's not changed. Our new programs, okay, are 4 tiers. It's complimentary, so all the things you love. Notice it says there, hello, Top Deck Pizzeria. We're passionate about our pizza. New casual dining offers, specialty dining, as you see, and then, new experiential, because these are really cool experiences and we want to call them out. So really, really critical. Why is it that it pays to Plus? Okay, just look at the value, what your clients are paying, $60 per day per guest, right? What's added that's new, casual dining. Okay, I like to say the 3 anchors. These are things that our guests are saying they want. They want the beverage package, by the way, whether they drink or don't drink, more to come on that. They want single devices and they want crew appreciation, otherwise known as gratuities. Everything in the bottom is just icing on the cake. I think it's funny that I'm doing, these incredible desserts and then I have got fitness classes. So I'm glad that you're looking out for me. And then Premier, again, we did not change the prices, folks. Unlike what you're reading in social, there's no price increase, okay? What we've done is increase the value of what Princess Plus and Premier offer you. Again, savings for more than 65%. That's $80 per person per day. Again, the 3 anchors that I love, plus all the additionals. Okay, so what does Premier give you? Specialty dining, Princess prizes, reserved seating in the theater, the photo packages, and the medallion accessories. So all of that in addition, right? And Ocean Now delivery and room service delivery, okay? Really critical because those are some of the, so a lot of you said, well, now you're pushing me to have Princess Plus. Now Princess Standard. Folks can still do Princess Standard. It's all about options. You have the options, okay? So Ocean Now, if you have Princess Standard, so if your clients have that Princess Standard package, they'll have a one-time fee, $14.99, and then they can go ahead. It gets applied to their first order, and then as they go through their voyage, they're good. Plus a Premier is included, you see? Room service. So before Princess Standard, if you're on Princess Standard, there's a $5 charge for each room service order using the room service button in your stateroom phone. If you have Plus or Premier, it's included. You see why it pays the Plus, it pays the Premier. And then the shipping, okay? Princess Standard, this is not new. As of December 14th, we had already announced it. There's a $10 medallion shipping charge, okay, to Standard. When you look at Plus and Premier, as long as you booked it after December 14th, because we've had different iterations of it, it gets shipped to you, okay? Really, really, by the way, in places where we ship, because I know Canada, we're not shipping yet. So that's not a change, but when it's coming, we'll let you know. Who's eligible? Again, we look at this December 14th date because of the 60/80. If your clients paid Princess Plus $60 per person per day or $80, that's it. They are included in all of this. It's anybody who had the other price points or booked before. So we created these amazing comparison charts, and I'm going to go through. I would have really wanted to spend a lot more time. So Joe, note to self, because I really want to get into it, because I think not all packages are created equal, okay? Other packages just do not compare. When you look at the value, again, I've been on social and I really appreciate those travel partners and guests alike who defend this because they've cruised other brands. And of course, I'm not going with specific brands. I'll just let you guess the brand. But when we say Princess Plus is truly including all, okay, what does that mean? So we're going to go through it very, very easy, okay? And this is just the cost per day per guest, right? They just easy. So let's talk about it, right? $60, $80 for Premier. Brand C, okay, you see it right there. Basic fare bundle is $80 and it varies by sailing. And by the way, this is based on a 7-day and we give you truth in advertising. Brand N is a basic fare bundle, approximately $53.80. Varies by sailing. These are just basics. Ours are not basics. We just went through it. Brand R has no fare bundle, right? You have to do an a la carte kind of thing. So depending on your stateroom category, it can go anywhere from $122 to $197. But wait, there's more. Let's say you're going to add the beverage component to it, okay? Which is part of what people love, right? So let's talk about beverage component. Ours, if you're in Plus, includes our drink packages up to $15. Bar tips including. Look at the array of things you can have. So no, you might not have alcoholic drinks, but you want lattes or you want, a specialty energy drink or a smoothie, mocktails, all that. Large bottles of water included in Plus. That's it. The beverage package is included. When you look at the others, drinks up to $10, bar tips included, and 50% off, 15%. Brand N has beverage package up to 15. They add 20% bar tips additional and 20% off bottles of wine. Brand R, it's all a la carte. Packages are $84 per, can you imagine, per person per day for guests, plus the additional 18% bar tips. I mean, this is when you do these comparisons that you truly, truly understand, okay? So what if my client doesn't drink? I always love to talk about this, right? Because it's not just alcohol. For some reason, when people think beverage packages, they think always alcoholic. Well, guess what? Specialty coffees, mocktails. I talked about that. Fountain sodas, premium desserts. Look at it if you were doing this with bar tips per day, a la carte. There you go. Okay. That's what more you're paying. You just $54.89. Then you're looking at Wi-Fi. Then you're doing it. You end up paying more and you are the value interpreter. That is why we try to make this as easy for you, why it pays to Plus. We walk you through it. Unlimited Wi-Fi. There's your single device without any restrictions, right? Then you look at what the other brands are doing. So I'm just looking at Brand N, 3 to 6 nights. Now they're parting it out. For us, doesn't matter whether you're on 6 nights or 5 nights or 4 nights, right? It's Plus, it's Premier. You get 4 devices when you upgrade to Princess Premier. One, me, myself, you can toggle between devices. That's another thing I want you to know. And for Brand N, it's first and guest, second guest only. And then Brand R, it's a la carte, single device, $25 a day. Just think about it. In 3 days, what you pay there, $75, do Princess Plus. You can even do Premier for all you know. I mean, this is why it really, if you think about, I got to go back. His crew appreciation is gratuities, right? There's ours included, not included in Brand N. There's the additional cost. Brand R, not included. Joe, we need to do something where we do an entire running thing, and just go through it because this is incredible. And then look at the dining options, okay? On basic fares. Remember, Princess Plus is our basic fare bundle, and that's what I'm trying to compare here. We really are a true value. When you talk about service delivery, this was an eye-opener for me, okay? Plus and Premier complimentary, okay, as well as Ocean Now, whereas Brand C, it's not included. That's how much it is, plus 20% gratuity. Brand N, plus $9.95, plus, and by per delivery, okay, it pays to Plus. Brand R, it's not included, $7.95 per delivery, plus gratuity, okay? And I know some of your folks are doing standard and they'll have those additional charges, but I'm focusing on Plus and Premier and what we have as far as the value proposition. It is huge when you look at the extras, okay? So it's really easy to book or upgrade. I know Jen just went through it because you need to know what the offer codes are, right? When you want to upgrade standard, upgrade to U Plus, right? Guess 1 and 2. there's the cost per person per day. If you were on the original plus and you just want to upgrade guest 1 and 2, it's an additional $10 because remember, it was 50. So again, all of these fare codes really allow you to self-service your clients. We have FAQs on it because we know how important it is for you to understand what you need to do for your clients. We're not going to have time for news, notes, and reminders because we're right at the top of the hour, right? Which we have to finish because I know that it was so critical. I wanted to go through Plus and Premier and some of these new changes, and we will continue our next webinar. I'll be joined, it's August 24th. I'll be joined by Marsha. She'll be back freshly with that vacation. What do I call it? It's just that beautiful vacation aura that she'll have. We just want to make sure we're educating you, we're walking you through it so that I don't hear the nickel and diming thing because it really isn't. We truly have a value proposition and you're the value proposition interpreter. And when you put them side by side to others, you really understand why for us it really does pay to Plus and Premier. And how do we help you? You are our ambassadors. We need to make your life easier. So that's why the whole learn to use Polar Online so you can save time is so critical. So provide your feedback. That way we know what you want in the next webinars. What do you want us to focus more on? We can do these great tips. And Jen, are you still with me in case anybody has any quick questions? Because I know we covered a lot. You were going to do 20 minutes, my friend, and you did 46. I just wanted to share, not that I'm keeping time.
I can talk, Carmen.
I love it. Thank you. Someone's saying very nice presentation, but fast. I know there was a lot of content, which I knew we would struggle with because if I throw in questions, Jen, I always make it a longer webinar. My apologies. Any question out there, Joe, that you think is critical that we can end the webinar with? If not, I know that our teams, it's like behind it's like behind the curtain, Wizard of Oz. We have a great team that's been answering all sorts of fantastic questions that they have been raising, which I think is wonderful. So if there are no questions, we've answered them, which is fantastic. More to come. I want to wish everybody an amazing rest of your summer, even though we're going to see August 24th, and prayers for our very, very, very good friends in Hawaii, that everything turns out and just give them the strength that we need to give them. Thank you, Jen, for joining us and for the wonderful support that your team continues, because I know they too are on the front lines. Thank you, Ruth. Oh my God, she already has fabulous. And yes, I've been trying to slow down. It's those diction lessons I'm getting, Ruth. They're working. Make it a great day. Polar portion was very helpful, Jen.
Thank you. More to come, folks. Thanks for joining.
Carpe diem, everybody. Seize your day.